Good morning, everyone. While we're waiting for everyone to get in and get settled, now's a good time to grab anything you need to get comfortable. Maybe that's a glass of water or a cup of tea or coffee. Also, if you have items at home with you and you would like to smudge with me, it's a good time to grab those items as well as we begin to ignite the healing within. Relatives, if you don't have smudge at home, that's okay. I'm going to send some healing energy your way. We can cleanse together this morning. We can start anew. It's another day and a new opportunity to begin again. Aloha, kakahiaka. Hello and good morning. My name is Malia and I'm a community healer at the HIR Wellness Institute. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on the mental health and wellness of our relatives of Turtle Island, as well as other Indigenous and underserved communities, and also victims of crime. You can join us here every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. We will always breathe, stretch, explore ways of integrating self-care, health, and wellness into our daily lives. And we will always honor our cultural traditions, our customs, our ancestry, our strength, and our resilience. So good morning, everyone. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our HIR Wellness team members that are here with us. I'm going to see if I can access some comments here today. I've been kind of struggling seeing comments. I have an issue with Facebook. Facebook decided 2 weeks ago that I don't get to see comments. However, as I introduce our HIR Wellness team members, do know that not only are they amazing human beings, they're also therapists. So as you go ahead and comment on our Facebook page, they can go ahead and respond with you. We have our Community Engagement and Indigenous Affairs Director, Jamie Kellycutt. Good morning, Jamie. I'll see you at the office pretty soon here. I'm at home in my dining room right now, enjoying the sunshine. We also have our occupational therapist, Claudia Meyer-Smith, who I'm hoping is here with us as well. Good morning, Claudia. And to all of our relatives out there, good morning. I want to let you know this is a place where you're welcome. We're happy to have you here. This is a place for all of us. A place where, as we are on our path and journey of self-care and wellness, where we can take moments every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., moments like this for respite and reflection, moments to reset our day and set the rest of our day for intention. So good morning, everyone. If you are new to the videos, relatives, I want to let you know you are encouraged to comment, ask questions, share your own insights, ancestral teachings, cultural wisdom. You can share your moments and feelings of gratitude. And we always check in just to see how you're doing, because you know what, relatives? No matter how you're feeling today, I want to let you know that whatever it is that you're feeling, we're going to honor that authentically where you're at. And that can help us move forward in our day as well, too. So how are you doing, relatives? Are you doing okay? Maybe it's a great day. Maybe it's not so great. Or anywhere in between. Feel free to comment in the comment section with us, or just take a moment within yourself to kind of just allow yourself some time to really think about where you're at. I'm feeling really good today. Not always feeling good every day. We all have our days, but today I feel really good. I'm looking forward to getting into the office today. We have some really exciting things coming up at work. The sun seems nice and bright already. I just feel good today. Oh, and it's Friday. Woohoo! Aloha Friday. Before we get into our deep breathing and our stretching, I want to share with you my beverage this morning. I did make my turmeric tea again. This is my third kettle from the same roots that I peeled and coin sliced yesterday. It has a beautiful orangey amber color. Turmeric I drink very often. It's really, really good as an anti-inflammatory. Sometimes I have hip and knee pain from either sitting too much, or the alternate to that is sometimes I exercise too much and I I might overextend on my knees or my hips, and I can feel a little bit of pain there. And turmeric really helps, as does cherries. I've been eating raw cherries all week. It's been great. I should say fresh cherries. This tastes really, really good today. It still has a sweetness, a spiciness. It has almost a carroty, honey kind of flavor. I don't add any sweetener to it. I like it just the way it is. Super good this morning. And if you like, go ahead and share what you're drinking today. We all have our morning, well, a lot of us have our morning routines and rituals. Maybe it's lemon water and vitamins, or just a big glass of filtered water, or a cup of coffee, whatever it is. Do feel free to share. I want to take a moment to speak to our relatives today who aren't doing so good. And I will remind you, as I do every time that we meet, if you're not doing okay today, it's okay not to be okay. If that's where you're at, it's all right. But when we're feeling this way, there's things that we can do. We can reach out to someone that we trust. Maybe it's a family member or a friend. Maybe it's a coworker that you trust. You can also call our Cares Warm line. It's open every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And you can call or you can text, and you will get a response back within 24 hours. Our Cares Warm line will connect you to our Cares Warm counselors, who I all know personally, and so does Jamie, and so does Claudia. They are passionate and helping you as you're walking on your path of wellness and self-care. You can tell them about your worries, things that are on your mind that aren't sitting well. Maybe you're upset, anxious, sad, or just uncertain. Our Cares Warms counselors will listen to you. You will be respected, stigma-free. And not only will they provide you with emotional support, but they can also connect you to resources that may be helpful to you. So relatives, if you're not doing okay, do reach out to someone, whether that's our Cares Warm line or someone that you trust. Another great resource, if you're not doing okay, or you just want, maybe you're doing great, but you still want extra support in your life, visit our Facebook page here. 7 days a week, we have excellent programs, videos all throughout the day. No matter which video you click on, you will always leave feeling uplifted. So let's go into our deep breathing. Deep breathing, if you're not feeling okay, that's another one of the most immediate things that you can do to help bring yourself back to your center. Dissolve the kind of like the feelings that you might be going through at the time. I always remind our relatives, I deep breathe, particularly when I feel like a big mass of thoughts. Do you ever have that where you just, like you're existing, but you're all in your head and your head just might be spinning through whatever your worry is, and it's just like cycling in your head over and over again? When you recognize that that happens, you can immediately go to deep breathing, and it really does help. It'll slow down the heart rate. It can allow the mind to quiet itself so that our heart can expand, our spirit can expand. We can listen to what it is that our heart and spirit needs. The mind, of course, important function, right? To be able to think with the mind. But sometimes it crowds everything out. And we don't always need to be stuck in our thoughts. Sometimes we just need the stillness of the heart. So when we deep breathe, there's lots of different ways to do deep breathing. If you do some looking up online, you'll find that there's plenty of different exercises to do. There's certain counts you can breathe in. There's things you can focus on. But one of the ways I really like to deep breathe is just by sitting down. You can also lay or recline. Really, it's whatever is comfortable for your relatives. And I'm going to put my feet flat on the floor. Sometimes I sit on the floor crisscross. Sometimes I sit with my legs in front of me on the floor. And you can put your hands in your lap. Or what I've really liked to do lately is put my left hand over my heart and my right hand over the top of my left hand. And when we breathe in for the count of 4, through the nose, our belly is going to expand. And when we exhale through the count of 6, our belly is going to contract. So we inhale through the nose for 4, and we exhale through the mouth for 6. Now, when we breathe in and that belly expands, we can allow ourselves to do a few things. One of the things I really like is breathing in healing energy. Just think of that air to be very cleansing and soothing. I almost like to think of like water washing over something when you're trying to cleanse as you breathe in. And then when you exhale, you can release any tension that you're feeling in your body. Maybe it's manifesting as physical pain or discomfort. Or maybe if your mind is really busy in that worrying sort of way. When I breathe in and I have all these like thoughts that are like coming at me and they feel sort of maybe negative or worrisome, I take those thoughts, I bring that healing energy in towards those thoughts, and I breathe them out. Are you ready, relatives? We're going to take a deep inhale. Here we go. Expand that belly. Breathe through the nose. Breathe in cleansing thoughts. And exhale. Releasing any of that worry or anxiety or tension. In through the nose. And deep inhale. And exhale. And exhale. We'll continue to breathe as we stretch in through the nose and out through the mouth. I had some thoughts that were popping up, some general worries, even some insecurities were running through my mind. And when I was breathing in, I brought that energy into the heart and tried to release those images that were popping in my mind as I exhaled. Take a deep inhale, arms up. Oh, nice stretch. You might yawn here. And exhale as we go ahead, bring the arm across the body, rolling out the wrist, stretching the shoulder and upper back. Inhale. And exhale as we bring that other arm across. Deep inhale. We're going to bring that arm out in front of us, pushing gently down on the fingertips. This stretches the forearm and the wrist. I love the way it feels, but sometimes it can feel uncomfortable. If you have if there's things with your wrist or your arms that you have to worry about, you can just roll your wrist here instead, or choose to stretch that feels good for you. Because relatives, this stretching and the breathing, this is all about serving you. Deep inhale, clasping those fingers, palms up and out, and up towards the ceiling. This is all about listening to your body and doing what feels right for you. Even when we stretch here, you might feel a little crackle, you might hear a little crackle in your back, and that's okay as long as it feels all right. It's really important to do what feels right for you. Stretching the tricep, pushing on the elbow, inhale, and exhale. All right, we're going to continue. And when the yawns come out, let them come. We're going to continue with the next stretch here, looking from side to center, double tapping the ear towards the shoulder. And we're going to finish our stretch with the neck roll, bringing it in the front from shoulder to shoulder, and then looking down gently towards our lap and up towards the ceiling. This is my favorite stretch. You can feel it here. How'd that feel, relatives? I'm really excited to share the affirmations today. These are affirmations that I haven't yet thought to look up, and today I was thinking about being Kanaka Maoli, about being an Indigenous Native Hawaiian woman, and I was thinking on that a lot, and I thought of the word sovereignty, and I heard that word a lot, growing up as being Indigenous. I think that's kind of a word that occurs a lot, when we're thinking about our history and what our ancestors have endured. And so sovereignty was an important word that came to mind today. So those are the affirmations that we'll look at. But before we do, one of the ways I love to practice culture and to honor and reflect my heritage, my ancestry, is through the Native Hawaiian lunar calendar. So I'm going to share what moon phase we're in today, according to my ancestral teachings. But also, relatives, I want to remind you, there's so much diversity in our tribes, in our clans, in our ancestry, in our genealogy, in our geography, where our homelands are. If you ever want to share with pride, we can celebrate your ancestral teachings. We can celebrate your tribe. You can type it in the comment box if you want to, or you can take a moment just to be still and take a moment with the heart and just honor the strength and resilience of all your ancestors who came before you. No matter what color of the rainbow you are. Okay, so the moon phase that we're in, according to my ancestral teachings, we're in the 5th day of the moon. So the new moon was on Monday, and I've been saying I love how the new moon coincided with Monday. That just, I love that when that kind of lines up. So today we're on the 5th day of the moon phase. There's a different moon for every day of the month. The moon that we're in is Kukolu. Kukolu means we're in the 3rd day of the moon phases of Ku. Tomorrow is the last day. So we're on day 3. Now, I will always remind relatives, Ku is one of the 4 major Hawaiian gods. So we're on day 3 of this Hawaiian god. And this is a god of masculinity. in the sense that, well, there's this long story about how and why, but I'll save that for another day. I'll just say this. Ku is a god of perseverance, a god of sacrifice, a god of discipline, a god of logic, a god of striving towards excellence. And when I think about Ku in the way of self-care and wellness, and I have been saying this as we've been in the Ku moons, is that sometimes self-care and wellness is very gentle and healing and feels amazingly good. It feels like taking some deep breaths or stretching. It can even feel like taking a nap or enjoying laughter and leisure time with friends and family. Yes, that can be self-care and wellness. But when we're in the moons of Ku, which we are right now, and finishing tomorrow and have been for the last couple days, this is the time if you want to try and integrate self-care and wellness that isn't always so easy. Biggest example I use is going to the dentist. Sometimes self-care is a nap. Sometimes it's going to the dentist. So you think about things in the realm of self-care these last couple days that may not be the easiest things to do, that may not be the most comfortable things to do, but they're things that really ultimately are very good for your wellness. Things like the dentist. Things like, even though you come home and you're super tired and you don't want to do anything, you go for a walk, or you go for a jog. Or it could be going to that doctor's visit that you've been putting off because you didn't want to have to, you just weren't ready to have to do what it is that you think the doctor might tell you to do. That's a great time. These moons that we're in right now are a good time to strive in that way. And you know what? If that's not how you're feeling, that's okay. I just share with you humbly, because that's part of my ancestral teachings of these moon phases. If you're a fisherman or a gardener, I believe it's a good day to fish. Let me see. Yeah, it's a good day to fish. And also, if you're planting in Hawaii right now, we would plant taro, the root, the kalo root that's made for poi, or we would plant bananas or sweet potatoes. But here in southeastern Wisconsin, here in the Midwest, you can plant root vegetables, tuber vegetables, and fruit trees. That would be all ideal right now. Before we go, I do want to share some positive affirmations for us. It was so funny the other day. I was at band rehearsal and I hadn't played music for like 5 months. But normally part of what I do, and also what Jamie does, is we're musicians. So Jamie is here she's moderating our comment section. And Jamie, I bet you miss playing music so much too, or gigging out. So anyway, I gigged for the first time in like 5 months on Wednesday, which for me, normally I'm gigging all week long for decades now. So it's been really strange. And the other day when I was singing on the mic, I got the hiccups. So I was singing, and then all of a sudden throughout the whole speakers you hear, I was thinking of that never mind. Oh, moving on. Okay, so every time that we meet, I do like to share positive affirmations. When I'm at home, which I am right now, I tend to just Google whatever it is I feel that I need for the day. So for example, if you're waking up and you're feeling exhausted, you might, for a quick pick-me-up of this heart and spirit, you might just Google positive affirmations for exhaustion, or positive affirmations for sadness, or positive affirmations for inspiration, or whatever it is. But today, again, I Googled positive affirmations for sovereignty. And when you look on, I have my own thoughts of what I think sovereignty is, but for those of us who just kind of want a textbook definition, I went to dictionary.com, and sovereignty is the quality or state of having supreme power or authority. The status, dominion, power, or authority of a sovereign, royal rank or position or royalty. Supreme and independent power or authority in government as possessed or claimed by a state or community. Rightful status, independence or prerogative. That's my favorite one. Or a sovereign or independent state, community, or political unit. Relatives, if you care to share, what does sovereignty mean to you? My favorite definition here is rightful status, independence, or prerogative. And so what does sovereignty mean when we're talking about ourselves? When we're talking about our wellness, when we're talking about our self-care, what does sovereignty mean to you? I think what's so beautiful about our self-care and wellness, and I'll talk about sovereignty too, is that sovereignty means that we have the choice. It is our choice. We are in control. We can decide what we want. We can walk whatever path we choose. And when we're walking our path of self-care, step by step, we can make the choice. That's the beauty of it. Radical self-care, radical love, radical compassion. The beauty of it is you are the master. You get to choose. Let that be our sovereignty. We have that power. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not hard. It doesn't mean that some days we don't want to. It doesn't mean that we don't have obstacles of systems and expectations and all these things. But we can be warriors of our sovereignty. We can be self-determined. Now, sometimes we may have the energy to forge forward in that path and climb that mountain, and some days we don't. And that's just being human. But that's why moments of self-care are so important. Because wherever you want to be and wherever you are, and on that trajectory as it ebbs and flows, and we cross paths with obstacles and people that we love and people we don't like and things, obligations that we have to do, we do have the choice. It may not always be our first choice, but there's always another path. I really wish I could see the comments. I will say the biggest irritation I've had in the last few weeks, relatives, is Facebook took away, I cannot see comments. I want to interact with you so badly, but do know that Jamie and Claudia are here to interact, and they're amazing. So thank you so much, ladies. Thank you. So when we talk about sovereignty, I want to leave us with these positive affirmations. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. So I actually found this on Instagram, which I don't do Instagram, but when I Google searched positive affirmations for sovereignty, it brought me to Pinterest, which brought me to an Instagram.com post from a person named Aubrey. This is cool. I command that all that is not in my highest good and the highest good of all leave my being now. Think about those things that aren't serving you. And when you deep breathe, you know, those thoughts that popped in your mind that you released through the breath. Those are the things we did that. We were commanding that those things left in a very physical, a very real time sort of way. I dissolve all patterns, programs, systems, beliefs, imprints, and chains operating within my being, keeping me from my highest divinity. I dissolve all patterns, programs, systems, beliefs, imprints, and chains operating within my being, keeping me from my highest divinity. I declare all contracts not serving my highest good null and void. Oh, I love that one. I return all energies, imprints, and attachments that are not mine, either to the owner or to the source, severing, removing all cords and connections, keeping them in place. I want to read that again. I return all energies, imprints, and attachments that are not mine, either to the owner or to the source, severing, removing all cords and connections, keeping them in place. I declare that I am sovereign and whole, and none may dwell here uninvited. I declare that I am sovereign and whole, and none may dwell here uninvited. I invite only that for my highest good and the highest good of all. What do you think, relatives? Did anything come to your heart and to your mind for you? This reminds me of what our founder, Leah Denny, talks about. Leah is also a Native Hawaiian woman. I think of her like my sister. She talks often about in life, there's people who will, when you come into situations with someone, it might be a conflict or a misunderstanding, or maybe someone's like trying to put something on you. Just because there's energy directed towards you, and it may be valid, it may not be valid, but particularly when it's energy that you, maybe it was something that energy being projected at you that is not, it is not from your doing. Maybe someone's projecting something or they have their own healing. And when that happens, relatives, if someone's living their own pain, I remember hearing Jamie say, hurt people. And if that's happening towards your relatives, you do not have to accept that energy. That doesn't mean you need to allow it to internalize within you. And that's what those affirmations reminded me of. If you have someone who's, bringing you down, or they're sucking your energy or your light, you have those people ever where, you can feel, you might start your day as a ball of light, and when you're practicing gratitude and breathing and you're expanding and your spirit is able to be in that stillness and your mind is starting to quell and not be so busy, and then you have something or someone is just like out of nowhere, like trying to just, maybe they're not trying to, but all of a sudden it feels like it's taking your energy and it's going back. It reminds me that we do not have to internalize that energy. You can take a moment to be like, you can take a moment to say, is this mine to own? Is this my responsibility to take on that energy? And one of my mentors taught me with our own light, and if you're feeling like you may have that energy coming at you, there's things that you can do, and visualization really helps. And for me, sometimes when I feel that coming on, I just imagine myself in golden light, like a ball of light, almost like a bubble, that, you know, you can breathe in and out of. But if something comes at that bubble and you're just like, nah, not today, it can kind of just bounce off gently. Because many of us are very empathetic people. Many of us are sensitive to the way that, you know, feelings, you can feel a lot. And if that's the case, sometimes we can take on things that aren't ours to have to carry. And relatives, I say all this stuff, and I'll always remind you and myself, I say this humbly. I'm not trying to be preachy. This is my own insight and my own feelings. If it helps you, awesome. If it doesn't serve you, you don't have to take that energy either. Remember, this path, your path, is your sovereignty, and it's your choice. That is the beauty. You get to decide. You are the creator of this. You are the master. You're the captain. You're the boss. You can decide. I want to say ma lama pono I kokino. Take good care of your body. Mahalo nui loa. Thank you so much for joining us today. Aloha nui. Big love to you all. Before we go, there is a survey that's linked to this video. It's a community survey. It's completely anonymous. It asks just a few questions. Please, relatives, take a moment to fill it out, because what it does is it helps us to understand how best to serve you, our relatives. Have a beautiful day. Remember, you are in charge. Our bodies, our spirits, our hearts, and our mind are sovereign. They are ours, and for ourselves to determine and to be who and what it is that we deem to be righteous, to be well, to be happy. Ahui ho'akuno. I'll see you later. Aloha.